All right, Algebra 1, we're going to start working on these rules for addition. We did a lot of this yesterday, but today we are on lesson 2-3, and we're talking about adding integers, which are negative and positive whole numbers. Our essential question is, can you add real numbers using the rules for addition? So let's look at some rules. The first rule says, if A and B are both positive, then you're just going to add them together and keep the sign. You've done this a lot. 3 plus 7 is 10. They like to show it as absolute value, but you guys know how to do this. So let's move on. On this same note, if A and B are both negative numbers, they're saying you could take it out and just add the number. So they're saying add the absolute value of the numbers. So what they're saying here is that I'm just going to do the exact same thing as if they're both positive. I'm adding two negatives and keeping it negative. So when the signs are the same, keep the sign and add the numbers. All right. Now, if A is positive and B is negative, and A has the greater absolute value, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the sign, we're going to add the numbers. A plus B equals the absolute value of A minus B. Notice here it's really just telling you to subtract. Adding a negative is the same thing as subtraction. Probably should show that a little darker. Adding a negative is the same thing as subtraction. So 8 minus 5 is 3. And with the same thing, if the larger number is negative, the answer is going to be negative. If A is positive and B is negative, and B has, this should say, and B has the greater absolute value, then we're just going to take the sign of the larger absolute value, which is negative 5. All right, and if A and B are opposites, then when I add them together, the answer is 0. So A plus B, meant to put a highlighter on. A plus B is 0. 2 and negative 2 is 0. So obviously you will not be given calculators in this section, but we're going to work on this together. Notice in example 1, letter A, we have a negative 10 and a positive 10. What can we do with those? Good, we could just cancel those out. And we end up with negative 11 and positive 9. Since the signs are different, we're going to subtract the numbers. And because 11 is the greater when in absolute value, we're going to take the sign of the greater. For B, I probably would add the same signs first because that kind of makes it easy. Negative 9 and negative 12 is negative 21. And then I would add the other same signs first. 7 and 15 is a positive 22. Notice this can also be written as 22 minus 21. No matter which way I write it, the answer is the same. The answer is going to be 1. What if I had something like this? Negative 321 plus 231 plus negative 123 plus 312. Guess what I would do? I would add the negatives together and I would add the positives together. So, and keep the sign. So this would be 1 and 3 is 4, 2 and 2 is 4, 3 and negative 1 is 4. All right, and then we're going to add the other ones. I'll go ahead and add those in a different color. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 1 is 4. 2 and 3 is 5. So really what this question is saying is 543 minus 444. You guys know what that is? Good. The answer is going to be a positive 99. Now, if you have to do all the old school carrying and all that, that is fine. Do it if you have to do that. But we should know that 544 minus 444 would be 100. So 543 minus 444 would be 99. Great job.